Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the Mallorca Connection. And boy, do we have a great topic for you today from an expert in this field: how to start your own business now. I left corporate back in 2020, started my own two businesses, and I could not be happier. It is a heck of a lot of work, that's for sure, 80 to 90 hours a week. But the rewards, the creativity, the camaraderie, what I've learned, it's truly amazing. Let's welcome our expert, Mr. Roland Friedl. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Great to see you.
Nice to see you as well. And you know, I love this topic, and you certainly have so much expertise when it comes to this area. Tell us a little bit about your background and the ways that you help your clients, specifically business owners, business leaders.
So actually, I went to school, I went to university, I did different studies because I was always interested in learning and improve myself. So my first studies was actually German philosophy and history. And then I went to the US and I was studying at the Athens Ohio University. I was studying sociology and US foreign policy. Then I went to Spain, in Salamanca, and I studied the Spanish language and culture of South America. And yeah, and I was working. I started already working, and I had quite a fast career. I started in sales and marketing, and after that, I became the youngest member of board of director of a company. I had a very fast career in corporate world. It was nice. Yeah, nice salary, but I didn't like it at all, to be honest. The reason for that is maybe it sounds a little bit strange for Americans or even from the guys from Japan watching us, because in Austria you have 5 weeks of vacation, and I love traveling. I love to conquer the world, and 5 weeks is not much for me. It's not enough for me. So I decided to do my own business, start my own business. And in between there, I went to the University of Business University in Vienna, and I studied international business. And then I tried out different areas, to be honest, Dr. JACALYN. So in different industry, I was in the nutrition industry, I was in the kitchen industry, I was selling technical stuff, I was selling sailing boats, many different projects I met. And to be honest, this was the best time in my life. I was, as you said, it's hard work. Yes, it's a lot of work, but you know what you're doing because you do it for yourself, for your future. And some business, to be honest, failed. Actually, 2 businesses failed totally. Totally. I didn't went bankrupt, but I had to pay a lot of money back, but it failed. But to be honest, it was the best learning in my life. You know, the reality is the best learning of my life. And to be honest, I had a discussion with my professor in university and in business that it's nice what you're teaching, but it's nothing to do with reality. Nothing to do with reality. Running your own business is a little bit different than you are teaching here on the business school. But anyway, yeah, some businesses, as I said, 2 businesses failed. Some businesses were very successful, and yeah, and then about 25 years ago, I started parallel a training company. A training company meaning we delivered sales training, executive trainings, and this company became bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, now we are based in Switzerland since many years, and we had the honor and the pleasure to support huge corporate companies like Xerox worldwide. I was facilitating trainings all over the globe, except Australia. OpenText, a huge Canadian software player, and many other players. It was a lot of traveling, it was a lot of fun. And besides that, I started other smaller business. I was in real estate. I started with friends to get on the island of Mallorca, a hotel and a vineyard. So I made experience in many, many fields. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I have to say, I'm always learning something new about you. You know, I've interviewed you how many times, and today I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know he did that. That's really amazing.
Yeah,
And
I
it's really
sold
helped
actually I
shape who
sold
you
my
are.
shares of the hotel in 2011. Yeah, I had a 24% of this hotel and this vineyard. It was a lot of fun, yeah. But to be honest, two of these guys, we have four guys, and two of these guys, they did some bad things, and I was on the board of director, and I said, no, I don't want to go in a Spanish jail. I'm sorry, I'm off. I'm off. No, I'm sorry, because I'm always working honest. Of course, sometimes you're gonna make mistakes and you lose money. Maybe somebody else is losing money too, but it's never been on purpose, you know. And these guys have been on purpose, to be honest. And when I found it out, I said no, bye bye, bye bye.
That was smart for sure. You know, Roland, one of the things I think as an entrepreneur that's really interesting and fascinating to me is that when something needs to be done, I'm really interested to learn how to do it myself. And obviously, there's a lot of people you can hire to do things. But I'll just do an example. I spent several days updating my websites, and it was a lot of fun. And I realized because I had priced it out, it would have cost probably 10,000 on the one and 15,000 on the other to get to the level of where I have it today. And I did it myself. I know the front and back end of websites now that I could actually go and offer myself as a web developer, a graphic artist. So it's really neat. Now, other people may say, and you can even say to me as my mentor, you could say, well, listen, you could have taken that time and done something else with it. But the point is, I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you enjoy it, why not? But when you enjoy it, why not? But when you force yourself to do it, I say, okay, give it away to somebody else. I mean, your website, I remember I didn't have website for years, to be honest. But I don't know. I was in a lucky position, especially in my consulting business, that I always was recommended from client to client to client. I was never do any acquisition, never ever. So they always came to me. That was, I don't know, from the beginning, actually from the first day. And I never had a website. I even didn't have a business card or a brochure or something. Never ever. And I was working many years successful in this area. But then, you know, with 2020, everything went online. I said, oh, maybe I should work on a website. And I had a very good friend in Cologne, and I said, I hired him. I said, okay, I pay you on an hour, on a fee per hour, on Zoom, and you train me how to do a website. Yeah, so I was like, you, Dr. JACALYN. we started after half an hour. I said, stop it. Let me know what it costs me, your website. Stop it. I don't want to do it, you know, but I don't see any fun for me, so I don't want to do it. So he did my first website. Unfortunately, he got health issues. And then I met Sam, and now I have 7 websites in different areas. No, but as you said, when you have fun, yeah, go for it. Why not? But I don't like it at all.
Yeah, for me, it was so much fun, and it's a sense of pride and something that I'd like you really to speak about today, because this was a lesson that I needed to learn myself. Sometimes people have their business brands and then they have a personal brand, and sometimes they get all mixed together, and then people are not clear what is the business brand, what is the personal brand. And the reason I bring this up is many times when you go to a website, it's very confusing what it is that you're actually offering, because people will try to put all the services under one website. You just mentioned you have 7 websites. Probably you'll be growing, getting more. I've got 4 websites, about to have 5. And what I've been able to do is there's different places on my website where you can actually click. For example, on USA Global TV and radio, there is a button to learn more about me. So you want to learn more about me as the founder, it takes you over to my personal website. You're on the personal website, you're under the fitness tab. You can watch It's Your Healthy Lifestyle right there on that website. So that brings you back to this website. So can you talk a little bit about the differences between a business brand and a personal brand?
Well, it's depending how you see your business in the future. When your business is very connected to your personal brand, it can make sense to combine it. It can make sense. When you want to build up on a broader, I can give an example. I made the mistakes years ago even without a website. That my consulting business was very, very focused on me as a persona, Roland. So all my clients said, no, it's nice to have a team, different language, but we want we want to hire you. And I said, fuck, I only have 365 days a year, and I need some time, some vacation, stuff like that. So it depends what you want to do. I mean, if you want to build up a business that is independent from you and your 24 hours, then it makes sense to split your personal brand and your business brand. It makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I always just try to give examples to people. But for me, if the television platform wasn't able to stand by itself, that could be a vulnerability. So therefore, having my own brand separate from the business brand, to me, made
that's what I'm
sense.
doing too. Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. Man, hopefully nothing is going to fail anymore, but you never know. And when something fails, okay, let it go, close the website, bye and bye. Yeah.
Bye.
And the other thing is when you have too much stuff on one website, people don't believe this. I mean, even, I'm a crazy guy. I love to learn. I love to educate myself on traveling. So I have so many fields I'm really interested in. And some of the fields, I'm not saying sorry for that, but I become an expert in some field, not in many fields, but in some field I become an expert. But it's too much for a normal citizen, I said, who has a daily job, a 9-to-5 job, and yeah, I'm living a little bit of different life. So I have, as I say, I have my main website. It's rolandfriedl.com, and from there you can link to SPS, the business website. You can link to Wireless Rocks, the coaching website, and you can link to Sparring for Men. But I have more other websites, and it's not linked to this website, so I separate it. It makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So you and I are both entrepreneurs, and many of the people who are on our platform in our community here are entrepreneurs. And there's some great times, and then there's some times, like you said, where things are just not working out. But many times people will use what if this could happen, I might fail, as a reason not to go out and be on their own. So what would you say to them?
Well, first of all, let's take it a little bit broader. I mean, we all have to make our livings. Yeah, we all have our dreams that we want to fulfill. Maybe you want to have a nice house, a nice car, nice traveling, afford a good education for your kids, whatever it is. We have to settle our bills, first of all. So we have to generate income. And what I learned actually from Robert Kiyosaki in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad is we have four options for incomes. You can work as an employee in a corporate world and you change your time against money. But the thing is, you're working not for yourself, you're working for your boss. Secondly, you only have 24 hours. So if you want to make more money, you find a different job that pays you more per hour, but you don't have more hours, 24 hours. And you need sleep, you need food, stuff like that. So that's one thing. It's becoming an employee. It's an option. If you're happy with that, yeah, why not? Not for me. The second thing is you start your own business. You start a business. The point is with a business is you're working for yourself, depending. When you need some money from the bank, you're not working for yourself, you're working for the bank, actually. But you're also changing time against money. When you're a single entrepreneur, it's only you. It's only your 24 hours. You're also changing time against money. That's what you're doing. So the other thing is you're building an organization and trying to get stuff from board, like I did with my Just Bus business, having distributors all over the world, is finding more people. And when you have your first employee or your first distributor in the business, you don't have 24 hours, you have 48 hours. When you have 3, you have 72 hours. So you're duplicating time. So that's the third option, is building an organization, building a team with people and grow. And it's not only you that is working, it's your team, and you're benefiting from your team. And the fourth income stream is investing money. So if you're lucky enough, you have $1 million or $2 million or $10 million of dollars, you can go on the stock exchange or wherever you want to go and invest your money and make your living from that. But I guess most people don't have. So for most people, investing is not an option because they don't have the money, the resourcing. Becoming an employee is for more and more people not anymore an option because there's more stress, there's more pressure out there. You know, what I see in the organizations we are consulting, it's all about being more efficient, being more productive. So less people at the end of the day are doing more work. It's more stress, and you don't have enough vacation. You're working for your boss dreams and not your own dreams. So. And the other thing is, some people believe when they're working in the corporate world, it's safe, especially days for those who security is a very important value. But you know, when the job is gone, the money is gone. So, as I said earlier, you know, as a self-employed or an entrepreneur, I guess you're not stupid enough to fire yourself. So. I think for me that the best security is building up your own business. Of course, there are risks, but there are always risks. But the risks are mostly in your hands if you're not very dumb. Yeah. So when your product is not working, your service, maybe you find a different product or you go with your product in a different market. So there's always a solution. You're not depending on your boss or an organization that they keep you or prolong your contract or increase your salary. So for me, the best option is starting your own business. Because you are safe, because it's up to you how many hours you work. It's up to you in which market you work. It's up to you what kind of tools you're using, how you approach your customer, and so on and so on. It's just you. For me, it's 100% freedom. When you do the right thing, you have a good plan, a good strategy, and a good idea. We can talk about this later. But for me, it's the best option to make a daily living is do what you love to do and make a business out of it.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Roland. And what I think is also really important that people have to be aware of is you have to have the right mindset and you have to be willing to do the work. I've seen so many times when people say, I've got my own business, I'm taking off today at 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, they just started a year ago. Or I'm going to make sure that I get 5 weeks vacation, for example, and when I come back, everything will be fine. No, it won't be fine. It'll be gone. You'll be out of business. But so you have to have the right mindset and you have to really be committed. And I know for any of my family members who have been here and they've seen me, they know they're going to see me for 1 hour and that's it, because the rest of the time I'm working. It's a huge commitment.
Yeah, I have a funny story. Like a very good friend of mine, Harold, Germany, when we started 30 years ago a business together. And, you know, he was working for a company, you know, hours and hours and hours. He was a blue collar worker. He was in management role. He was a blue collar worker, you know. He I guess he started 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, did his job. And when the boss said you can go home, he went home. When the boss said you can go on vacation, he went on vacation, just every day in the treadmill. And then he started to become an entrepreneur. I will never forget it, you know, the first day in the morning. You know, first of all, there was no alarm clock in the morning, so he could sleep longer, enjoying a long sleep. Then he had the breakfast of his life, you know, all the stuff, you know, scrambled eggs, ham, orange juice, coffee, whatever. Yeah, he had an amazing breakfast, enjoying a newspaper at the time. You know, 30 years ago, there was newspapers, there was no smartphones or tablets. So having a newspaper, and then it was 11, you know, and after 11, he said, well, maybe I go do some shopping and I prepare some lunch, and he had an amazing lunch and a coffee. And then he called me and said, Roland, what the fuck I'm doing as an entrepreneur? I said, I was waiting for your call. he had no idea. I said, okay, you have to find a daily routine. Get up in the morning, 5 or 6, and have a clear plan for the week, what you're doing, because otherwise you get lost. Because, you know, after I guess 20 years in the corporate world, he was used to somebody else telling him what to do. So when you start your own business, you need a clear plan, you need a clear action plan, you need a mentor, you need a coach, because otherwise you can get lost when you're not used to it, to really be disciplined and have a daily routine.
That's a funny story. And it's really true. You have to be disciplined and structured, because unlike when I was in corporate, every Monday there was a sales call. You know, let's go around and talk about what there's no one who's going to be doing that. There's no one who's saying to you, maybe your accountant, maybe your accountant's like, what's going on, but that's how many times a year. So you've got to be on top of everything, and you have to be really passionate about it. And I think what we were just talking about on the last show, your lifestyle needs to be healthy. Your mind needs to be clear, because there's so many details. There's so many hats. And by the way, I just want to share this. This is my Dr. JACALYN LLC hat. Can you see it? I wear this I wear this all the time because it's my brand. I wear my necklace, Dr. Jacalyn, all the time because I'm promoting my brand and I'm proud to do it. So that's also work. It's work promoting your brand, getting people to know who you are, getting out of your comfort zone. But once you do it, the rewards are incredible. And it's not just financial. There's so many other rewards as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you meet a lot of interesting people. You learn a lot. You get more skills. You learn a lot about yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would never change it. And it's the freedom. Of course, you work. I mean, but to be honest, you work in the corporate world too. It's there's no free lunch in the corporate world too. Yeah, and so you always work. And maybe we feel some pressure as an entrepreneur because it's our money in, because there's no fixed salary. So there's more money, there's less money. Of course, there's a kind of insecurity. But to be honest, it's all about the end of the year. What's the fiscal year here in Europe? It's the end of December. I guess in the US, it's end of March or April. So it's all about the end of the year. So don't look every day about your income. Of course, there's kind of insecurity, but as I said, there's also insecurity losing your job. Yeah. So yeah, but discipline and finding a daily routine, especially in the beginning when you're not used to it, because it has no consequence. There's no boss. Maybe your wife is bossing. Hey, come on. I met a friend of mine, yes, last week, Tuesday. Yeah, I haven't seen him for long. He's same age like myself. He was a member of board director of a huge financial institute in Austria. And he quit the job and he started his own business. And he invested a hell of money. He told me he has pressure every fucking day from his wife. He said, "Why did you invest the money? Where's the money coming back?" So this is not helpful. So I said, maybe you have to engage her early and tell her that there are some hard times coming the first 2-3 years. But yeah, that's the deal. But if you work, the thing is when you work 3, 4, 5 years very, very hard, then you have an amazing life afterwards. Of course, it can go down because economy is always, in coming in waves, 7 years up, 7 years down. And it was in my business too. But right now, I'm in the lucky position. My kids are grown up. Yeah, I don't have much expenses. So with just less income, I'm pretty fine. I don't have to pay a house or something to the bank. It's okay. It's less stress. But in the beginning, it is stress, but it's only stress when you put your stress on yourself. When you focus on what you're doing and you have a clear plan, that's very, very important. But some people, Dr. they have a great idea, but they don't think about the market and the customer. It's not about you, it's about a customer. And as we have a saying here in Austria, the worm is for the fish, not for the fisherman. So some people really start with a great idea, but they don't think about the consequences and the risks they're taking out. Actually, a very good friend of mine, you know him, Dr. Jacalyn. He started a coffee and actually no experience in running a restaurant, no experience. He did it in a city where, I don't know, 300-400 miles away from where he's from. So he no network, doesn't know any people, no idea. So he started, invested money, opened a coffee and closed it on the same day. Luckily. He had the balls and said, "Okay, no, it's bullshit. I close it," because as he had no network, he didn't find staff. It was difficult to find staff. He has no experience in running a restaurant. And I said, "Oh my God, I didn't think about that." So maybe before you start with an idea that sounds good or is maybe trendy or fascinating or flimsy, yeah, get a good business plan. Actually, this was the show before. If you maybe when you missed it, you've looked at the recordings on YouTube. You need a clear, realistic business plan. You need a coach who has experience and is successful in the area, and have a look at your business plan if it's realistic and it's working, because otherwise there are so many good ideas and people fail.
Very true. Roland, something else I wanted to share with you is I was speaking with someone just recently, and they've been in business for about 7 years. And the one thing he shared with me was that when he first started, he made a mistake short term, but his competitors made it long term. And that was giving a lot of things away for free. And what ended up happening was the competitors went out of business because they didn't see their value or their worth. And what he shared was when you give certain things away, right? But then other things you don't give away because then people have a vested interest in it. And he said that's part of the sustainability that they've been able to have at their company.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when you start as a single entrepreneur, I don't know why, especially when you work as a therapist or a coach, people are start too cheap. I mean, it's not about asking for a crazy price, but most people are start too cheap, and people think that something that has no price has no value. So yeah, be realistic what you can get, and why to sell too cheap? I mean, I say when you have a really good product and service, you have a good experience. Okay, that's the base. Of course, you're doing your best. Then ask for a good price. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I do.
I have a scenario to share with you, which is kind of funny. I started doing a Facebook Live and then it cut out, so I just forgot about it. But I teach the power of listening, and I really wanted to expand to different areas. And so I started cold calling, old school, email cold calling, phone cold calling. And I was going to actually do the course for free in exchange for being able to sell my books at the end. And so I never put a price in this correspondence that I sent out. And the person came back and said, yes, we want to hire you and we need your tax information. And how much are you looking to get paid? And I thought, wow, they're going to pay me. This is unbelievable. So I spoke with one of my coaches and came up with, what is my hourly rate? And then I'll give them a discount that hopefully they'll bring me back. So he had one idea of what I should offer. And I thought, I'm going to go higher. And it did. And they accepted it. So the bottom line is what I was going to do for free, they saw the value in. So I don't want people to devalue themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always say always have a higher price that is for everyone, and you can always discount it. Of course, when I make an offer, I charge so many thousands a day, and when they say my budget is not like this, I said, okay, this is my price, and I give you an additional discount. But there's always my initial price is always on a proposal, it's always on the invoice too. Then I discount it because sometimes a very good customer of mine says, Roland, I know that's the value you bring, but my budget is like this. Okay, we can discount it. And when I reduce the price, you pay in advance or something like that. It's all about it. And actually, I don't know why, but I opened a new business field actually 2 weeks ago because as I'm running this German podcast, I have a lot of people who are doing men's work. There's mostly young people who started as a men's coach or whatever you want to call it, and they have no idea about social media. They have no idea about building a business. And I started coaching them, and I told them, this is the price. Make a realistic price. This is the price. And if you cannot fill your workshop, maybe you have 5 people who pay the full price, then invite some friends and give it for free to fill the classroom or the Zoom call, whatever it is. And the thing is, those who pay the full price, who get most out of it because they really want to have something back from the investment, and those are the people who are going to recommend you. It's not the people who come in for free. They're not going to recommend you at all. And they're not committed because they didn't pay for it or they didn't pay enough for it. And I also have different prices on coaching, because when I coach an executive manager who makes 2 million a year, he pays a different price than a first level manager who only makes 150,000 a year. So I have different prices for different incomes also.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I'd love to have you sort of take us into the next step. So you have the business plan. What does somebody do then? And again, if you missed the business plan episode, go check out the Mallorca Connection on USA Global TV and Radio on YouTube in the playlist.
Yeah, do so. Well, as I said, first of all, you need an idea. Most important is the idea, not the money, because as I said in the business plan, when the idea is good, you will find investors or partners or whatever, or the bank will give you the money when the idea is good. So it's all about the idea. But the idea is about how you can improve your customer's life. It's not about you. So many people fall in love with their own idea. It's nice, but it's all about the market. Is there a market? Yeah, that's the first one. Okay, when there is a market, who is your target group? So be very clear about that and make a really good marketing analyze your market, and not ask your friends, because most of your friends say, yeah, it's a good idea, it's a bad idea. They don't give you a proper feedback because maybe they don't have any skills in the area. They're not professionals in the area. It doesn't make sense to ask friends unless they're in the same industry. Then it makes sense to ask them, but otherwise it's worthless. It's worthless. What kind of feedback should they give? So they have no skills, they have no experience on that. So do a professional market analysis. It costs money, yeah. but believe me, it helps you to save money, or at least not to lose a lot of money. So a good marketing analysis is very, very important. As my friend did, he opened his head, this idea of a cafe. He found this nice place in a nice village, and he sent me pictures. Said, yes, it looked good, but no idea why the cafe before closed. He said, yeah, there are other cafes, but not many. He said, yeah, because there's a small village, for example, this village has, I think it's 13,000 people. So when you go in a special niche and you only have 13,000 people as your targeting group, that's maybe not enough to run a restaurant on a daily basis. So they come every day, because you have to fill the restaurant every fucking day, because otherwise, you cannot pay your expenses. So make a good marketing analysis. That's very, very important. Take your time before you start and analyze the market. Analyze the market. That's the most important thing. Most people work at a product. They work at a product all the time, and they work on a product, and they're going to die in beauty. It's about marketing analysis. You always can improve your product. You always can adapt your product and your service. That's no doubt. But first of all, is there a market? That's the first thing.
Excellent. And I think in regards to whether or not there's a market, I've spoken with some entrepreneurs who kind of let their emotions get in the way, and they start telling themselves all kinds of stories. Well, the numbers don't really warrant it, but I know from talking to a friend that he thinks that, it's like, no, skip.
No, this doesn't work. This is a fairy tale, it's not working at all. No, guys, again, I don't want to demotivate you. Please, I'm a huge fan of starting your own business. Yeah, go for it, but make a good market analysis. Yeah, that's so important. So important. And I said in the beginning, before I even used, maybe we should talk about a little bit before Dr. Jacalyn. I said, okay, how to find a good business idea, or we do even another. Maybe we do next time we do another podcast about how to for those who have no idea, who want to start your own business, becoming independent and having a different lifestyle. I guess it's a good idea. Maybe in the next show, next Monday, that we talk about how to find a business idea and what fits to you. Maybe we talk about this in the next show. But for now, for starting your own business, as I said, okay, when you suppose you have a business idea, suppose you do your market analysis, then pay the price, meaning work, do, talk to everyone. The point is, when you are motivated, it's nice. When you have a vision, it's nice. When the people around tell you this guy or this girl is crazy, then you're on the right path. So really talk to everyone with your business, to those who want to hear it, to those who don't want to hear it, don't care. Talk to everyone. And if you brand maybe your clothes or your cap like Dr. Jacalyn, or your bracelet, do whatever it's necessary that people know that you're in a business. Talk to everyone, because you never know who's going to be your client. I remember when I started one of my successful businesses many years ago, I was talking to everyone. And you know what? Many people I was talking to had no interest, but they introduced me to people who have been interested in my business. So you never know. So talk to everyone, share to everyone, talk about everyone about how excited you are about your business, but be profound, be clear, and please, think about creating an elevator pitch. Meaning, can you explain your business idea or your business in 1, 2, maximum 3 short sentences? Yeah, don't overload people. That's too much. Don't overload them. And one tip I can give you, I remember when I was starting one of my businesses, and it was a really cool idea, and it was a tremendous success. And when I was talking to everyone on a golf course, everywhere I met people. I was always on the street. I was always, and I took every invitation in a gallery or whatever it was, in a reunion, on a party, just to meet people and talk about my business. And there was one mistake, and then somebody said, "Oh, really? You tell me more." Then I made the mistake that I overloaded them. I told them everything, and then I found out, oh shit! The longer I talk, the less they're interesting and the less they're listening. And what I learned from this, and this is a tip, is when you have somebody who's really when you meet somebody on a party, in a venue, and about your business, that sounds interesting, then you immediately stop the conversation and say, "Hey, I see you're interested. We are here privately. We want to have some fun. It's a party, it's a gallery, or whatever it is. If you're interested, give me your business card. I never use business card. So I always want a business card because I want to proactive. I don't want to wait that someone is calling me. No, I want to proactively call the other. So give me a business card. And what is a good time to contact you or your secretary to find an appointment? And then we can have a conversation. That's always it. You're stopping. And people say, oh, fuck, it's interesting. Yeah, what am I? Let's say, hey, we are here. Sorry. To be honest, I'm working hard and you're working hard. And let's enjoy the party. Let's enjoy the drink. And share, get your business card, and agree that you call this person and you get an appointment and you can share it. And then you walk away from this person. You wish him and have fun on the party, and then you go to the next person to network and do the same stuff. So never overload, especially in the beginning. People said, yeah, it's interesting. What is it? And then we start because we're so excited, overloading people. And this brings people away. No, let them stay curious. Oh, fuck, there is something interesting. And he or she doesn't tell me. I have to wait next week for a business appointment. My God, what is this?
Yeah, I love that. That's excellent. That's excellent. And I also want to share that as entrepreneurs, we have to find ways to be creative sometimes as well. And I'm just going to share a quick story of something that happened yesterday. But I have these children's books, and I'm on an island filled with children. There are so many children here, and yet I'm been wondering, how can I market to them? So I called the local police department. It's a few blocks from here. Nobody called me back. I went down to the department because I looked it up. You need a permit. You can't just go and sell from your driveway. You can't go door to door. You can't go on the boardwalk. Nobody called me back. I went to the library itself, brought my books. Can I do a presentation? The person in charge isn't here. So yesterday, I'm out for a walk and I see a police car that's kind of hidden, like to pull people over. And I thought, I don't know, I feel stupid, like going up to the guy. So I knocked on the window and he rolled the window down and I said, blah, blah, blah. I'm a resident. I have these children's books. This island's filled with children. So he told me exactly where I need to go. I went to the wrong place. So after the show, I'm going to go over there with my books, with my logo merchandise on, and I'm going to tell them what's in it for them. How can I get a license or a permit, I guess, to sell the books? And I'm pretty excited about it, but I could have just stopped from being rejected, which I wasn't really rejected. I wasn't calling the right places.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Very thing that you mentioned, Dr. Jacalyn. When you start a business, be proud of it, what you're doing. Be excited. Be proud of it. Don't hide yourself and don't wait in your dark flat that someone is calling you. No one will call you. Go out in the street and talk to everyone. Talk to everyone who cannot escape in a minute. Okay, talk to everyone. Share, and you never know who can help you and who's really interested. Just talk and talk and talk. People have to know about you. It's all about talking. People have to know about you. Talk and share with everyone. Be proud of what you're having, and whatever is necessary. And as you said, Dr. Jacalyn, be creative. Always find a way. Never ever give up. And when you get the no, they don't say no to you. They say no to your business. It's not that they say no to you. It's nothing personal. They say no to your business. Okay, you know what, Doctor? I got a lesson about 30 years ago. I met a lady. She was selling. By the way, there was books. This lexica, this huge lexica. But there was no internet. So if you find something, you want to know the capital of Italy, you go to open a book and you look at this. Or you want something about Roman culture. How do you say the lexica, encyclopedia, or something? How do you call it?
Yes, it's. Yeah.
And she was selling this from the Bertelsmann. This was a huge company in Europe. And I guess one book was a few hundred euros, or at the time it was no euros, it was whatever currency it was in the country. It was quite expensive. And I guess you had it on an installment program, and once a month you got a book. And it was, at the end, you had, I don't know, 30, 40 books like this, heavy, huge, and fucking expensive. Okay, sure. And she was in German we said Klinkenputzen. So she was going from door to door, knocking on the door, hey, I'm about getting in and trying to sell this books. And I spent one day with her. So I was in my 20s, and I spent one day with her. And you know what? She got so much rejection. People kicked her out of the door. People screamed at her. People called her whatever name. And I said, oh my gosh, how you can stand this? And she made a hell of money. She was very successful. She made a fucking hell of money. And she said, Roland, you know what? In a business, whatever you're doing is, you make a business with a clear yes and a clear no. So when they kick me out in the first minute, it's fine. It doesn't make sense to sit 3 hours in their living room table and then they tell me, no, they don't have the money, don't want it. I wasted 3 hours. So a clear no brings me to the next yes. And it's just a quote. I know I have to talk. There's a quote in my company. My boss told me, you have to talk to 100 people to sell 10 books. So every 10th person is paying me. So one says no, it brings you closer to the yes. So first of all, a no, it's nothing against you. It's just to say no to your business or to your service, whatever. And secondly, you need a clear yes, or you need a clear no. Because when you get a clear no, you can go to the next perspective, your next customer. That's very important. That's a learn from the lesson from her. And she got many no's, but she don't, no issue. The next one is the one who's signing up, and she make a hell of money. And then the next no, yes, no, yes. And that's in business. So this is normal. Not everybody says, yeah, I was waiting 40 years that you come in. No. But
I was waiting for you. Yeah, it's so true. I love that. And when I first started in business, I took everything personally. And then I realized, no, okay, it's not for you. Great. Let me not waste my time. I don't want to take a whole hour for you to tell me no. If you already know you're not interested, somebody else will be. Get out of my way. Let me move on. So
make them curious, bring them on the hook. And when they're on the hook, say, please stay on the hook until next week. And then we make an appointment. I'm sorry, but my schedule is full.
Exactly. One thing I'm thinking of doing, and I'd love your opinion on it, is I actually, when I go for a walk, I have my books with me. I keep them in a plastic bag to keep it nice and clean. And I'm actually thinking of just approaching people, parents, people with children, and saying, hey, these are the books that I wrote. Where do you think I could go and sell these? Or would you be interested in buying them? Or take a look at my website. Like, not keep them for a long period of time, but just to get some feedback from people who are actually here.
Well, that's the best thing you can do. Be as close as to your target customers possible, and ask them how they buy their book. When you're looking for a children's book, where are you going? How do you decide what kind of book you're buying or where you buy? Ask them a question. You learn a lot from them. And maybe they ask him, why you ask us it? Because I'm a writer. I'm writing books, and I have published 3-4 books. And by the way, maybe you're interested in
cash only. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No, and guess what? If I don't try it, I'm never going to know. So
absolutely. Absolutely. Because some people think, you need a lot of money to find an agency or a promoter or whatever. Yeah, of course you can do this, but it's not the same like making your own mistakes, I wouldn't say, but your own experience. And the closer you to your target market, the better it is. And to be honest, sorry, agencies out there, some of you are making a good job, but most of you give a shit about your clients. You just want to make the money and send you the bill.
Well, there you have it. Roland, it's been another fun episode. So where can people reach you? What services can you provide them? How can you help?
Good question. And I forgot to send my email. Well, the best way is send me an email. I'm always happy to connect with people. And to be honest, I'm always interested in your stories, where you're coming from, where you're heading to, what is your goal, what is your vision, what are your concerns, what do you want to change in life. Actually, I went through a roller coaster of life, and I have a lot of experience in different areas. Maybe the reason for that is because I'm coming from a lower middle class family. And I was always very hungry, meaning hungry for success, hungry to do something, hungry to make an impact in the world. So I tried different businesses out. I made a lot of experience. It was a lot of fun. It was also a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, how you say it. But it's a lot of experience. And if you want to benefit from my experience, contact me. Send me an email. It's office@rolandfriedl.com. Also office at Roland Friedl, it's ROLANDFRIEDL.com, rolandfriedl.com. Let's get in contact, and maybe we have a nice conversation or whatever it is. Feel free. Thanks.
There you go. The banner's been updated. office@rolandfriedl.com. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. I thank you.
All right, everyone. We would love to hear from you. By the way, have you started a business? Are you thinking about starting a business? Contact Roland, contact myself. Tell us your story. Maybe we can feature you on a show and you can share some of your experience with us. Until then, we will be back next week with
next Monday, and we talk about business ideas. How you find a business idea if you have no idea about what you're doing. We find about this that fits to your personality and your circumstances. We talk about that.
Fantastic. In the meantime, I'm going to go find out about a permit to sell children's books. So we'll see you later. Have a great evening, Roland. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.